What's up, everybody? This is Joe White here, and the hair is gone. That's a lot of things you're going to recognize. The hair is gone. I am completely bald. Well, there's stubble. That's because it's grown back within the last day or two. But yep, I went ahead and cut the hair off. I decided it was time for a summer cut. I'm getting ready to go to the pool this Saturday and the last or this Friday, and the last thing I wanted to do was deal with long hair. A lot of stuff happened this past weekend. A lot of stuff. But today I'm recording this on Sunday, and I love this shirt. Anyway, uh, weird story about this shirt coming up. Um, a lot of stuff's been happening this weekend. I was off Friday, really didn't do, or I was off Thursday and really didn't do too much Thursday. Friday I had to work. I was off yesterday, and I got to actually mow my grass yesterday for the first time in about 3 weeks. Yeah, it's been close to a month since I mowed the grass because it grows so slowly, and by the time it was ready to be mowed on the third week, we had a ton of rain. So I was actually, I was sitting there going, "Golly, I hope Thursday come or Friday comes and I can mow the grass, or Saturday." And sorry if I'm watching. I have fluorescent lights in my, as you can tell by the glare, in my basement slash office, and somehow there's a moth down here and it's attracted to the lights. So if you see me going like this, it's because I'm tracking the moth. Um, but Saturday was cool. I got to spend half the day mowing grass, and then Friday evening at around midnight, I'm looking on Facebook and I find this thing called Geeksboro, which is a coffee shop slash geek hangout based out of uh, based out of Greensboro, North Carolina, and it's golly, that is shiny. Look at that. Yeah, yeah, that's the way it should be. Actually, I shaved it. My girlfriend shaved all the hair off, and then I went and took a razor to it. And even with taking the razor to it, it wasn't like skin bald like Stone Cold Steve Austin or anybody like that gets theirs. There's still there's still stubble there. Um, and so this is about as close as it gets as far as the shave goes. And it's like that on the sides too. I've never been able to get a nice clean shave, and I don't want to learn how to use a straight razor, and don't because I'm too worried about cutting myself. But anyway, I found this place called Geeksboro, and like I said, it's a geek place. It's a geek hangout pretty much. You have a fandom, they cater to it, whether it be anime. I saw online where a couple people have watched pro wrestling there. Um, they do things like they screen, like when Orange is the New Black comes around. I'm sure they'll screen Orange is the New Black, which maybe they won't because it's Netflix based, but they do like TV shows like Arrow and Hannibal, and they do Game of Thrones there every week. And I went there because they were doing a backlot drive-in movie theater thing, where basically where they for $2 you go in, and in their back alley they have one of those blow up movie screens, kind of like a bouncy house thing, but it's a movie screen. Um, and they were showing the 1989 or 1991, whatever it is, version of Ninja Turtles, the very first movie that came out. The good one, the PG-13 one, I think it is, or PG. I don't know. Anyway, it's the good one, not the Michael Bay crap. But my son was super excited to see it. My son did not take his eyes off that movie, and it made me so proud to see him watch that movie. In fact, well, when his mother called today, the ex, when she called today, he was literally, and he's about to turn 6 here in next month. Um, he was literally able to sit there and tell my ex, "Oh, and then Shredder made this dude steal a wallet, and then they went around, and then the turtles beat him up." He was sitting there giving her plot point by plot point, and something that he just doesn't do with modern movies. So it's nice for him to sit there and take a good classic movie like this that is almost 30 years old. It's about 25 years old almost, isn't it? No, about 15 maybe. I don't know. I have to figure it out. Anyway, it's not important. But he was able to take it for plot point by plot point. So you bring your own lawn chair. You went downstairs out back of their shop there, and you sat there and watched a movie on the big screen. And what was crazy is because before the movie, they showed a couple of episodes of the cartoon, which was awesome to see that again. I hadn't seen that cartoon in years. Um, but my son wanted to go there, and immediately when you walk into this place, it is like geek heaven. Video games, board. The first thing you notice when they walk in is they got a life-size replica of the TARDIS and a life-size replica of a Dalek. So, Doctor Who fans, you are definitely welcome in this place. And then you see a giant screen where they're showing cartoons. Like I believe when I went in there, they were showing X-Men, the old X-Men cartoon, which was really nice to see again as well. And then they started showing the TMNT animated movie that they did back in the early 2000s, which was okay. But anyway, at least it kept with the continuity of the other three. Downstairs in the theater, they were showing Turtles in Time, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, which a lot of people love that fucking movie. That is I hate that movie. That movie is so boring. I'm sorry, I'd rather watch 2 than 3. But anyway, um, so anyway, we walk in, you walk in, and then once you get past the screen, you look down below where the screen is, and there's this huge table of nothing but board games you could play. And these aren't board games like, these are board games like Parcheesi, Risk, games that I never even heard of, like European strategy games that are there. And then they have the place decorated. There's a Power Rangers display and a Doctor Who and and all kinds of stuff in here. And, they have Star Trek, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, all this good stuff. Um, but they also have video games there too. You go into the back behind the counter like you're going toward the restrooms, and you're met with two Super Nintendo consoles with two old TVs there. And for those of you who have me on my personal Facebook page, you've seen the picture of my son, and he's playing Aladdin on a Super Nintendo. Well, they had a Super Nintendo, and then it was like a clone, one of the little clones, kind of like the whatever the knockoff clones are that they've been coming out with lately. Um, but he was playing Aladdin, and he was doing good. He didn't clear the first level. He died, got a couple of game overs, but he was really excited to sit there and actually play it and play the games that I played when I was a kid. And then they had another Super Nintendo there with Super Mario All Stars in it, which I started playing. And then this other little kid wanted to come up and play it, who was my son's age, who was 5. So I was like, dude, do you want to play, little guy? And here I gave the controller to him, whatever. Um, but to see kids, today playing the games that I grew up with was just so good. But anyway, we're standing in line to get our tickets when we first got in. We're not even there 5 minutes already, and this chick comes up to me and goes, "Hey, I like your shirt." And she's wearing a WWE VIP experience cap, and she tips the cap to me, and I was like, "Oh, thank you," whatever. She walked off, but total mark, because anybody that pays for that VIP thing, oh, anyway. um, but it was crazy because I didn't get a wrestling vibe when I walked into this place. You can normally tell, hey, they might have some wrestling stuff up there. I didn't see no wrestling involvement anywhere. People on my Facebook said they've been watching Raw there, which is awesome. I may want to do that someday. And now the audio is probably going to glitch out on me. I hope not. If it did, oh well. I'll rip it and make it into a podcast. But anyway, it was nice to, sorry. It was nice to go into a place where I could literally feel like I could sit down, have a nice cup of coffee. The coffee, I got a frozen iced macchiato thing or whatever, caramel macchiato, and it was so strong that with me being a former truck driver, coffee doesn't phase me. Coffee really has never phased me because I drink a lot of soda, which I know I shouldn't do, but anyway, all you hippies don't start on me about the soda. But caffeine normally doesn't phase me. I've been known in the mornings when I wake up to drink 4 cups of coffee and still yawn. But this stuff, It was something about this coffee that the more it sat, the stronger it got, which is not very typical for iced coffee because the water is supposed to water it down a bit, but this was really good. It got to the point where when you get this much left in the cup, you couldn't drink it anymore. It was so strong. Their prices, usual coffee shop, $4 for this. I mean, if you're just going to get a regular cup of coffee, it's not that expensive. Um, and they don't have restaurant setup like it's like pastries and brownies and stuff you could buy and bagels. It's not a restaurant, which was nice because that means they could focus more on your drink than getting you food. I like those type of places, but they have board games that you can play. As I said, they have board game nights where people come together and just play board games. I suggested that to my girlfriend. How about a date night where we just go there and play board games with other people and socialize? Because we don't get out of the house often. With having three kids, we don't have a babysitter. We can't afford a babysitter. We don't get out of the house often. Um, when we do get out of the house, it's because her kids are with their dad and we have my son, so we never really get alone time. We went to the comedy club a couple of weeks back, but that's the first time we had really had alone time, date night, in quite a while. Um, which I'm sure is common for all relationships. I just don't trust that many people to watch my son because of his health issues and because of his ADD and ODD and his asthma and the way he's perceived. And it's embarrassing to have a little terror run around with a complete stranger. It just is to me. That whole "it takes a village to raise a child" thing, I don't get that. I never got that. We're very centered about how my son is raised and how his values are, which, and he doesn't associate with other kids well to begin with. He's like me. He's an introvert. He does. I'm better off talking to you guys like this or on Skype even than I am talking to you in person. It's just how I am. I'm a very shy person in real life. Um, but anyway, I highly recommend that if you're in the Greensboro, North Carolina area, go on Facebook and look up Geeksboro, Geeksboro, I think it is. And it's awesome. Geeksboro.com is a damn moth right there. But anyway, is their website. But I definitely will be back. In fact, Saturday, they do a Saturday morning cartoons thing where they air old cartoons along with the commercials. So you get the old 80s commercials, and you can buy bowls of cereal for $2 and sit there and have cereal and watch cartoons. So I fully plan on, my girlfriend didn't sound too excited about it. She's like, "Why are you going to drive 40 miles away?" Because the place is in Greensboro. I live in Blair's, which is about 40 miles north of Greensboro, 50 miles north of Greensboro. So it takes a little bit of time to get there. So she goes, "Why are you going to drive an hour away just to pay for $2 cereal and eat, watch cartoons?" I'm like, it's A, it gets you out of the house. B, it's nostalgia for me. C, it's the gimmick. But so I told her, fine, if you don't want to go, I'll take the kids. You could sleep in, and that'll be your time. The time that we're out of the house will be a me day for you. And so that people who say I don't think about these things, you can take things and spin it around in your relationship to turn it in your favor. And that was one of the things that did it. So I will go do Saturday morning cartoons. Um, if not, then I might just take my son and go by myself. Let me see here. Sorry, give me 1 second. Again, I'm sorry if the audio flakes out on this. I'm 15 minutes into it and I'm not going to start over. Um, but it was a nice place. It was a nice, comfy place. I really, they do stuff like on the 4th of July, which I'm off on the 4th of July this year because it happens to fall on a Saturday. They're doing a 4th of July weenie roast, and because it's on Saturday, you go eat $1.50 hot dogs, and Saturday night you get your lawn chairs, and they're airing the Sandlot. Next week or this coming Saturday, I should say, they're doing Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I even offered, I told my girlfriend, I was like, look, in 2 weeks they're doing Legally Blonde. I like that movie. I'll take you to go see the chick flick. She's like, nah, well, whatever. But I don't mind doing stuff like that. I like chick flicks. I like romantic comedies because half the time they're funny, um, depending on which one you watch. But I like that place. I liked it a lot. Speaking of geek fandom and video games, I paid my Batman Arkham Knight off, so I will be playing that game and I will have a review of it. I don't know if I'll do a let's play of it and post footage because I don't have a way to capture it unless it's on Twitch, which you can follow me at twitch.tv/newsearchlive. Um, I'll probably stream it a little bit on Twitch and see how it goes if you want to view it. I'll let you know well in advance of when I'm going to be streaming. It'll probably be late at night because of my work schedule, or either on a Friday or Saturday, or maybe a Thursday, depending on what days they have me off. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited about that. And what I did was I traded in my Grand Theft Auto 5, which I haven't touched in over a month. Mortal Kombat got really old really fast for me because of fighting games. It's the same thing over and over. I'm not that good of them, or not that good at it. So I got sick and tired of getting my ass kicked online pretty much. So I traded it in. Batman, I'll keep because it looks so badass and it looks so awesome. Unless the Riddler trophies are like Arkham City, where they're just so scattered and so damn boring to do and so painstakingly hard to do. I don't know. If the storyline's good, I'll keep it. Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes came out for free on PlayStation Network this month. I don't know how that's going to play into Grand Theft Auto 5, Metal Gear Solid 5, because I heard, and I don't know if this is true. There really hasn't been that much said about it, that you get exclusive content unlocked within Grand Theft. I did it again. Metal Gear Solid 5 when you have in the Phantom Pain when you have a Ground Zero save file on your console. Um, why would Konami allow them to give it away for free when Metal Gear Solid is when why would they give Ground Zeroes for away for free when Phantom Pain is coming out later this year? I mean, granted, you have to have your PlayStation subscription alive and active to play it, so I don't know why. I mean, they're probably going to put them in a package deal anyway. Sorry, I had to sneeze, and I know y'all didn't want to hear that one. Whew. But I don't know. I mean, they're going to put them in as a package deal anyway. I'm sure that they're going to have some addition where it's like Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes all in one game. Um, but I'm so glad to see. I, I don't like the control scheme of Ground Zeroes. I didn't like it. It does not feel like a Metal Gear game to me. But then again, um, it's not meant to. It's the Fox engine and everything else is meant to feel like a totally different game. So I have to get used to it. The AI in that game, man, I'm not good at it. I don't do the whole stealth thing. If an enemy sees me, I gun them down and go to my objective, and that's it. I'm not into the whole. You see these YouTubers out there who run throughs of the game, do let's plays of the game where they never get seen and they don't kill anybody lethally. It's all um, with tranquilizers or non-lethal ways of killing guys, and it's or knocking them out. And it's like I don't see how you're going to be able to make it through this game without using some form of lethal ammunition, especially when you have 4 or 5 guys searching for you at the same time. And they do search for you. So, I mean, anyway, but curious to see where the storyline's going to go. Obviously, Paz is dead. So we'll see how that plays off. I'm looking forward to seeing where Chico's character goes a little bit and how he evolves. It's been 2 years, I think, since Snake has been in that coma. So it's kind of, or maybe even longer. I'm not too sure. I'm no connoisseur of it, so I'm kind of, curious to see where the characters go to. Um, let's see, wrestling news. There's really not too much to talk about as far as wrestling goes. I don't think, Tyrus Brodus Clay got pulled from. Again, we talked about that on my last video. Um, I Havoc from TNA Knockout Havoc posted apparently some racially sensitive and borderline offensive tweets. and they came back out recently and she had to apologize. All of this happening as she's down in Orlando on a WWE tryout. That says to me that, okay, if she didn't tweet these out again, then somebody has had these things sitting on their computer, or they went back through her Twitter far enough to find them, or something. She probably deleted them, but anyway, somebody was a troll enough and an asshole enough to go get these and bring them to light again. And it's probably going to hurt her chances, from what I've been hearing, about her getting a contract with them, because they don't want any negativity. The last thing they want to do is hire somebody with a background for this sort of thing. And you guys in the wrestling business, you got to realize you can't go on Twitter and you can't go on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever it is you use. You can't go on there and talk like that and expect it not to hurt your career. I mean, if you're indie wrestler A in Podunk, Kentucky, where maybe you have 500 friends and nobody really cares, they're going to come out to see you anyway, that's fine. But when you're on national television and a company that's already fledgling to begin with, and trying to get a job with another company that's trying so hard to avoid any negative criticism whatsoever right now, it doesn't look good for you, and it doesn't look good for the business that made you and got you to that point. That's just my point of view as a fan. I like Havoc. I like the way she looks. I like the way she works. But if you're going to sit there and act like that, make a private account and share it with your inner circle, you know? Don't air your dirty laundry, you know? It just it's horrible. And you have nobody to blame but yourself, unless your account was hacked, you know? Um that new prank show called Swerved. Oh god, Russo's probably laughing at that one, but the director of Jackass and Bad Grandpa, he's doing a show called Swerved, where it's kind of like Punked for WWE. It's fake, probably, but it's funny at the same time. Um, let's see here. Tyson Kidd got injured by that muscle buster on Samoa Joe, which was a freak accident, bad bump. He took the bump wrong, from what I'm hearing and from what I've read. Um, that's unfortunate, because those two were red hot as a tag team. I thought they were really going places. And you kind of got to wonder, if his neck is broken and he can recover from it in the meantime, what happens to Cesaro? I don't know. My best wishes to Tyson Kidd. I like Tyson Kidd. The dude sits there, and I don't know if he does this for all of his Facebook followers, but every single birthday I've ever, since I became friends with him on Facebook, TJ Wilson has wished me a happy birthday. And that may not mean, oh, big deal, but the fact that a guy with that busy of a schedule has the time to go and wish you a happy birthday on Facebook, take a couple seconds out of his day to, do that, that means something. That's pretty cool. Um, so I wish him a speedy recovery, and I like his work. Um, let's see here. They went ahead and put Kevin Matthews in. They put Kevin Matthews in Tyrus's place against Moose on all the Global Force shows. Moose will be keeping his dates with the company since all this went down, but he can't appear on GFW TV due to his Ring of Honor contract. A couple of rumblings going around saying that a couple of prominent referees in the industry are about to make a change. One of them might be going to Ring of Honor. I'm not going to say who, but a couple of referees who are down in TNA right now, their contracts are coming up, from what I've been hearing, and that's my rumor mill talk, and that's not Meltzer or anybody else. That's just a little bit of what I've been hearing. That's going to do it for me here. Again, I'm sorry if the audio didn't sync up with the video, because it was glitching out on me, so it probably flubbed. But then again, I don't do these things so you can look at my face. I do them so you can hear my voice, and I do these kind of as vlogs, so I'm ugly anyway, so who cares if it's not really syncing up. that's going to do it for me, guys. We'll see you down the road. Raw is tomorrow. I'm going to try to do a video um, Tuesday morning talking about Raw, as I have to work from 1 to 9:30, so at least I'll be able to watch the last half of Raw. But let me see here. They got Money in the Bank in 2 weeks. I won't be covering Money in the Bank. It's sad because I have the day off, but I won't be able to watch it because it falls on the same day that I'm going to see Weird Al Yankovic up in Roanoke live. Um, I've had those tickets bought since January, so I'm not missing it, and I've been looking forward to it. So that's in a week, and I'm very excited about that. I'm a huge Weird Al fan. But anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below if you have any of a reaction to anything I've said here. Like, comment, subscribe, and Twitter and Facebook links are following this. We'll see you guys down the road.